In this tribute video, we honor the American legends who have passed away today and in recent days. Welcome back to Movie Newscast. These remarkable individuals made lasting contributions to their fields, and we sadly say goodbye to them. Our heartfelt condolences go out to their families and fans. As we remember their legacies, we invite you to show your support by giving this video a thumbs up if their lives or work have touched you in any way. Your gesture is a sign of respect and remembrance. Chad McQueen, Karate Kid star and son of Steve McQueen, dead at 63. Fans of the Karate Kid franchise have lost a beloved figure. Actor Chad McQueen, the only son of the late Hollywood icon Steve McQueen, and perhaps best known for portraying the character Dutch in the Karate Kid movies, has died. He was 63. Born Chadwick Steve McQueen, the actor passed away on Wednesday, September 11, at his home in Palm Desert, Calif, according to his longtime attorney, Arthur Behrens, who spoke with TMZ. Behrens said McQueen's cause of death was organ failure. McQueen reportedly sustained an injury a few years ago, which ultimately caused progressive organ failure. Though fans wanted McQueen to reprise his role as Dutch for the Karate Kid spin-off Cobra Kai, he ultimately declined, choosing instead to focus on his company, McQueen Racing, which focuses on automotive projects, films, and motorcycles. In 2006, he nearly died in a car crash while practicing ahead of the Daytona International Speedway's Rolex 24 race, according to Variety. Michigan's Greg Harden, Tom Brady's life coach, passes away after complications from surgery. The University of Michigan is mourning the loss of athletics administrator Greg Harden, Tom Brady's life coach in Ann Arbor, who died after complications from surgery. The school shared the tragic news minutes ago, days after it announced Harden remained in the hospital after undergoing a procedure on Monday. "He meant the world to me, and I could never have had the success I had without the time, energy, love, and support he had given me. He will be truly missed." Howard added, "Over the years, he positively impacted the lives of countless other student athletes and their families. Greg brought wisdom, joy, and his calming nature to every encounter. His presence will be missed by all of us." Harden, who was reportedly in his 70s, is survived by his wife Sheila, sister Lynette, and 3 children, Brian, Victor, and Olivia. The family said it appreciates all the thoughts and prayers as they deal with the loss, and will celebrate Harden's life at a ceremony in the future. Johnny Wachter's mom, livid over potential sentence in son's murder case. Johnny Wachter's mom is devastated over the potential 5-year sentence one of the suspects in her son's murder case is facing, telling TMZ she believes he's got zero remorse for his alleged role in the crime. Scarlett Wachter tells TMZ she fears Leonel Gutierrez, 18, who pleaded guilty to attempted robbery and grand theft charges in connection with the case, was merely charged with whatever was available for his alleged participation, but she thinks that's not good enough. Scarlett believes he'll probably only end up serving 1 to 2 years due to prison overcrowding, and then will walk free to live a full life, something Johnny will never get the chance to do. She doubts Gutierrez has any remorse and is convinced his guilty plea is an effort to avoid any further possible charges as the murder case evolves. And she believes he'll dive right back into his criminal ways once he's out, citing his probation status at the time of his arrest. The other 3 suspects, 2 of whom are facing murder charges, have pled not guilty and are scheduled to be back in court next month. Stephen Peete, former NHL player, dies at 44 after tragic accident. Former Washington Capitals forward Stephen Peete died on Thursday, September 12. He was 44. The NHL Alumni Association revealed the news in a September 12 post on X, formerly known as Twitter, announcing that the retired NHL enforcer died after he succumbed to his injuries following a tragic accident just over 2 weeks ago. No further details about the incident were provided. However, the NHLAA confirmed Stephen will be helping to save numerous lives through organ donation. We send our deepest condolences to Stephen's family, friends, and former teammates during this difficult time, the NHLAA said. The Capitals also expressed their heartfelt condolences to Pete's family and friends. Our thoughts are with his loved ones during this difficult time, read the team's X post. Rolf Harris' wife, Evelyn Hughes, dies aged 93. The wife of disgraced pedophile TV star Rolf Harris has died aged 93, 1 year after her husband. Evelyn Hughes stood by Harris when he was jailed in 2014 for 12 indecent assaults on 4 underage girls between 1968 and 1986. Her death certificate says she passed away due to a stroke, frailty of old age, vascular dementia. They were married for 65 years prior to Harris' death from neck cancer in May 2023. Best known for hits Timey Kangaroo Down Sport and Jake the Peg, as well as a string of children's TV shows. Harris also painted the 80th birthday portrait of the late Queen Elizabeth II. Hughes has previously been pictured in a wheelchair and was reportedly suffering from Alzheimer's disease in her final years, The Sun reports. She stuck by her disgraced husband through the court proceedings and his subsequent jail term. She attended every day of Harris' initial trial alongside their daughter Bindi. The pedophile served nearly 3 years in prison before being released on license in 2017 and lived a reclusive life afterwards. Harris was convicted of 12 sex attacks on girls as young as 7 and was handed a jail sentence of just under 6 years. After a jury failed to reach a verdict on charges at a 2017 hearing, Harris' solicitor read a statement from him saying, "Whilst I am pleased that this is finally over, I feel no sense of victory, just relief." Lori Lindeen dies. Zuzu's Pedals singer-songwriter and author was 62. Lori Lindeen, who blazed a trail in the grunge era as a guitarist with indie rockers Zuzu's Pedals, and later chronicled the experience in a book, died Monday at 62 in Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, of a brain aneurysm. Lindeen moved from Wisconsin in 1987 to join the burgeoning Minneapolis music scene, where acts like Prince, The Replacements, Husker Du, Soul Asylum, the Jayhawks, and Babes in Toyland were putting the city on the map. In recent years, she offered writing and literature lessons at the University of St. Thomas, St. Cloud State University, the Loft Literary Center, and local grammar schools. She also led writing retreats at Madeline Island in Wisconsin and other locations. A recent writing, My Third Act, published by the University of Minnesota Alumni Association, was about her move to Martha's Vineyard with her new partner, Jim Deem. In addition to her son and partner, she is survived by her father, Lance Lindeen of Northville, Michigan, and 3 siblings, Megan Lindeen of Madison, Wisconsin, Hillary Benson of Hilton Head, South Carolina, and Chris Lindeen of Santa Fe, New Mexico. No memorial plans have been announced. CBC radio personality Rick Kuuf, dead at 74. Longtime host of CBC Vancouver's The Early Edition, passed away after a short battle with cancer. Rick Kuuf, one of British Columbia's most loved radio personalities, has died. Kuuf passed away following a short battle with cancer days after marking his 74th birthday. A consummate broadcaster, Kuuf brought his friendly voice and big personality to CBC Vancouver in 1997 and helped turn The Early Edition into the No. 1 rated morning show in the competitive Metro Vancouver radio market. Kuuf admitted he was scared on his first day on the job in Vancouver after making the move from Toronto, where he had spent 2 decades with CBC Radio Sports. But his ability to connect with people, genuine curiosity, and sharp journalistic instincts helped endear him to a growing legion of listeners, which peaked at over 250,000 per day in his 20-year run as host. Whitney Redbeck dies. Friday the 13th actor and PSA character was 79. Whitney Redbeck, who memorably appeared in Friday the 13th Part VI, Jason Lives and later made a major impact in a safety PSA, died last week from prostate cancer complications while in hospice care in Chatsworth, California. He was 79. Redbeck started in TV, making one-episode appearances on shows like The Brady Bunch, Big John, Little John. He continued later in his career with appearances on Third Rock, From the Sun, and Scrubs. He was featured as Roy in Friday the 13th Part VI. Jason Lives, a paintball soldier who fires shots at Jason Voorhees, but ultimately is murdered by him. Perhaps his biggest role came as crash test dummy Larry in PSAs asking people to wear seatbelts. One of Redbeck's original outfits ended up in the Smithsonian. More recently, Redbeck taught drama at Pasadena City College. The Hollywood Reporter and TMZ reported first on his death. Redbeck is survived by his longtime partner, Claire. Bernas Johnson Reagan dies. Sweet Honey in the Rock founder and activist was 81. Bernas Johnson Reagan, the founder of the women's a cappella group Sweet Honey in the Rock, died on Tuesday in Washington. She was 81 and died in a hospital, according to her daughter, Tashi Reagan, who did not give a cause. Bernas Reagan was an original member of the Freedom Singers, a vocal quartet that provided songs to inspire civil rights protesters preparing to confront the police. The Freedom Singers were associated with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which sent them to events across the South, as well as to the Newport Folk Festival in Rhode Island in 1963. She went on to earn a doctorate in American history from Howard University in 1975 and to direct the Black American Culture program at the Smithsonian. There, she curated a collection of blues, gospel, and spiritual music. She was a producer and host of Wade in the Water, African American Sacred Music Traditions, 1994, a national public radio series on Black church music that won a Peabody Award. She also was named a MacArthur Fellow in 1989 and was a distinguished professor of history at American University from 1993 to 2003. In addition to her daughter, Reagan is survived by a son, Quan, her life partner, Adissa Douglas, siblings Jordan Warren Johnson, Dolores Johnson Spears, Adetokunbo Tosu Tosasolim, and Mamie Johnson Rush, and a granddaughter. Bob Newhart, dean of the Deadpan Delivery, dies at 94. A former accountant, he became an overnight sensation with the release of a 1960 live comedy album, then starred in a pair of fabled CBS sitcoms. Bob Newhart, the beloved stand-up performer whose droll deadpan humor, showcased on two critically acclaimed CBS sitcoms, vaulted him into the ranks of history's greatest comedians, died Thursday morning. He was 94. The Chicago legend, who won Grammy Awards for Album of the Year and Best New Artist for his 1960 breakthrough record, The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, died at his Los Angeles home after a series of short illnesses, his longtime publicist, Jerry Digney, announced. The former accountant famously went without an Emmy Award until 2013, when he finally was given one for guest starring as Arthur Jeffries, alias Professor Proton, former host of a children's science show on CBS, The Big Bang Theory. In Newhart, he portrayed Dick Loughlin, a New York author turned proprietor of the Stratford Inn in Vermont. The show was a mainstay for 8 seasons, and this one also featured a great cast: Mary Fran, Tom Poston, who later would marry Plachette, Julia Duffy, Peter Scolari, and as handyman Larry, Daryl, and their other brother Daryl, William Sanderson, Tony Peppenfuss, and John Voldstad. In one of the most admired series endings in history, Newhart wrapped its 8-season run with a cheeky final scene in which Loudon wakes up in the middle of the night as Bob Hartley in bed with Plachette in their Chicago apartment, suggesting that his whole second series had been a dream. Sheila Jackson Lee, long-serving Democratic congresswoman and advocate for Black Americans, dies at 74. Sheila Jackson Lee, a longtime Democratic congresswoman from Texas who was an outspoken advocate for Black Americans for decades, has died. She was 74. Today, with incredible grief for our loss, yet deep gratitude for the life she shared with us, we announce the passing of United States Representative Sheila Jackson Lee of the 18th Congressional District of Texas. Her family said in a statement Friday. Jackson Lee announced in June that she had been diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. At the time, she acknowledged that the road ahead will not be easy and said she had faith that God will strengthen me. Her family remembered her as a fierce champion of the people, saying that she was affectionately and simply known as Congresswoman by her constituents in recognition of her near-ubiquitous presence and service to their daily lives for more than 30 years. Born on January 12, 1950, in Queens, New York, Jackson Lee was among the first women to graduate from Yale University and served as a Houston municipal judge and a city councilwoman before she was first elected to represent Texas' 18th Congressional District in 1994, unseating a Democratic incumbent in the primary for the Houston area seat. Who was Evelyn Thomas? All you need to know was high-energy singer dies aged 70. Evelyn Thomas was an American singer-songwriter who made music in the disco subgenre of high energy. The singer made music primarily in the late 1970s to early 2000s, and later went on to form her own company, Japan Entertainment, Incorporated in 2009. Evelyn Thomas died of undisclosed cause at the age of 70 on July 21, 2024, in Port Charlotte, Florida. The announcement of her death was made by Ian Levine, the English songwriter who first discovered Thomas in 1975. The announcement was made by Levin through a post on his official X page on July 21, 2024. Mourning the loss of the singer-songwriter and his protege, Levine wrote about meeting her in 1975 and continuing to work with her in the subsequent years before becoming estranged due to the death of their mutual friend Clive Scott, reconnecting only in the months before her death. In addition to the studio albums, the late singer released 2 compilation albums, The Best of Evelyn Thomas in 1991 and High Energy, The Best of Evelyn Thomas in 2000. The singer's latest music was a single titled Stick to the Plan, released in 2008. Former Detroit Lions, Michigan State title-winning quarterback Jim Ninowski dies at 88. Former Michigan State football and Detroit Lions quarterback Jim Ninowski died Tuesday, July 23 at the age of 88, his family has announced. Ninowski was a star athlete at Pershing High School, where he played football, basketball, and baseball before eventually heading up to East Lansing. That's where Ninowski played for legendary MSU football coach Duffy Daugherty, starting a storied career. Ninowski led the Spartans to the 1957 National Championship in his senior season before taking his talents to the NFL. The quarterback was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in 1958 and played 2 seasons with the Browns before eventually ending up with his hometown team, the Lions. He played in Detroit during the 1960 and 1961 seasons, starting 18 games with a 9-8-1 record. After his 2 seasons with the Lions, Ninowski went back to Cleveland for the next 5 years of his career before spending 2 years with Washington and then the final year of his career with the New Orleans Saints. Denny LeMaster passes away. Former All-Star pitcher Denny LeMaster passed away late last month, according to an obituary from a Georgia funeral home. The former Braves, Astros, and Expos hurler was 85 years old. A California native, LeMaster signed with the then Milwaukee Braves shortly after graduating from Oxnard High School and made his pro debut in 1958. The Southpaw wouldn't make his big league debut until July of 1962, but pitched quite well for the Braves in 17 games, including 12 starts, with a 3.01 ERA in 86 and 2/3 innings of work. That audition during his rookie season earned LeMaster a more regular role in the club's rotation going forward, and the lefty threw 237 innings during his first wire-to-wire big league campaign, with a strong 3.04 ERA in 46 appearances, 31 of which were starts. He also launched 2 of his 4 career home runs as a hitter during that first full campaign as a big leaguer. Across his 11 seasons in the big leagues, LeMaster posted a solid career 3.58 ERA with a 9.0105 record while racking up 1787 2/3 innings of work and striking out 1305 batters. Following his playing career, LeMaster's obituary indicates he worked as a custom home builder and developed a talent for woodcarving wildfowl. Those of us at MLBTR extend our condolences to LeMaster's family, friends, and loved ones. Erica Ashe dies. Survivor's remorse and Real Husbands of Hollywood actor was 46. Erica Ashe, who starred on the Starz dramedy Survivor's Remorse and the BET series Real Husbands of Hollywood and In Contempt, and appeared in dozens of other films and TV shows, including Mad TV, has died. She was 46. Her family confirmed that Ashe died after a long cancer battle, but did not provide other details. Erica was an amazing woman and talented entertainer who touched countless lives with her sharp wit, humor, and genuine zest for life, her family said in a statement. Her memory will live eternally in our hearts. Born on September 19, 1977, in Florida, Ashe broke out as a regular on the first 2 seasons of Logo's The Big Gay Sketch Show in 2006-07, and then Fox's Mad TV. Into the 2010s, she worked in films including Scary Movie V, Horror Noir, Sister Code, Christie, 2 2017 Christmas Picks, and the 2018 basketball comedy Uncle Drew, starring Kyrie Irving, Shaquille O'Neal, and others. Ms. Erica Ashe was a boundlessly talented actress whose range was superlative, Professor Rel Dowdell, director of film studies at Hampton University, told Deadline. Being a graduate of prestigious institution Emory University, she could have had many prosperous career options to choose from in life, but she definitely chose the right one in being a standout and very conscious actress who touched many lives with her work. In lieu of flowers, the family asks that donations be made in Ashe's name to the Susan G. Komen Cancer Foundation or other breast cancer charities. The actor who once set hearts racing in the Blue Lagoon has reappeared, looking vastly different from his teenage glory days. With silver hair and visible lines that tell a story of a life fully lived, his transformation pleasantly surprised many. Away from the cameras, he faced battles that nearly broke him, but today he's embraced a quieter life far from Hollywood's glare. Take a look at the remarkable twists and turns of his life, including battling alcoholism and going bankrupt, and where he is now. The Blue Lagoon star, who once graced screens as a young heartthrob, experienced a meteoric rise to fame that few could have anticipated. Over 4 decades ago, he was catapulted into stardom, largely due to his breakout role in the iconic 1980 film. Interestingly, acting was never part of his original plan. Growing up in New York, he had dreams of becoming a professional baseball player. Unfortunately, a knee injury dashed those ambitions, leading him to an unexpected career path. Instead of stepping onto a baseball field, the former Hollywood star found himself teaching sailing and dabbling in modeling. Fate, however, had other plans. A chance audition for a film titled The Blue Lagoon, co-starring Brooke Shields, led to him being cast as Richard, a role that would forever alter the course of his life. He was selected from among 4,000 hopefuls, a testament to his undeniable on-screen appeal. The film, which told the story of 2 teenagers stranded on a tropical island, quickly became a box office sensation. It was one of the first mainstream movies to feature male nudity, which was daunting for the young actor. Filming took place on Fiji's Turtle Island, a location that, at the time, was far from the luxury resort it is today. The isolation of the location, combined with the challenging scenes, tested the actor's resolve. Despite these challenges, the film's success firmly established him as a teen idol. After his success with The Blue Lagoon, he went on to star in The Pirate Movie, where he met Australian model Lynn Barron, who would become his wife. Recalling their first meeting, he shared, "It was love at first sight, and 6 months later we were married. We went on to have 2 kids, Grant and Brittany." However, the glitz and glamour of Hollywood came with a darker side. As his career progressed, the pressures of fame began to take a toll. The constant travel, lavish parties, and high expectations gradually led him down a destructive path of alcoholism. The couple had settled in Los Angeles, but their seemingly perfect life began to crumble when the actor discovered that his former manager had embezzled nearly $500,000 from him. The financial betrayal left the star nearly broke, a devastating blow that led to an alcohol-fueled breakdown in 1986. The actor later reflected on that difficult time, admitting, "There is nothing worse than having your whole life pulled out from under you." The situation reached a breaking point after a heated argument with his wife in their family home. It was then that his parents stepped in, forcing him to confront his demons.